ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Cinephile's Eye, or TCA.
So long since I heard those words. Jesus. I
And whose
forgot we're
fault
still
has
a
that been?
podcast.
Whose fault is that?
Amen.
I don't know.
Amen. It's a two-way street over here. Mostly my fault though. I had an exam, but yeah, it's a two-way street
I know.
over here.
It's life though. But how's your week been? Or
Oh,
your time been since our last hiatus? It's kind of
since
weird
we
saying
last
hiatus because we talk like every week, bro. We talk like every couple of days.
we just talk about stuff that we're doing and stuff we talk about life really, but then it's like we're setting time apart to like sit, because we had a FaceTime that was like, I don't know, 20 some minutes one time, which could have been time that we could have used to record. I don't know if you
Honestly,
remember.
bro, we've had like multiple of those like 20 to 30-minute FaceTimes since our last episode.
But setting time to just sit down and do this, I don't know, it seems like a task.
Yo, was our last episode with Camden?
Yeah, that was our last episode.
It's been a minute, bro.
It's been a minute and a half, bro.
Yeah.
But my weeks since then have been good. I had an exam, an actuarial exam that I think went well. So find out in a month. So since then I've just been catching up on work and life and people that I just wasn't able to hang out with in movies and stuff.
No, I get that.
But yeah, it's been good. I'm getting ready for year end because everyone's going Niger. I'm not going to Nigeria this year. Everyone's traveling, so
I'm not gonna lie. Going Niger, I don't know, man.
What do you mean?
I feel like sometimes I treat Niger like, man, I left for a reason, bro. You get me?
Yes, bro. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And like everyone else is like, oh my god, I want to go to Lagos for December. I'm like, bro, Lagos hasn't been fun December since we were like 19, bro.
Yeah, no, I came here and I knew that I can maybe max 2 weeks that country can get out of me, and it has to be like every couple years or something. The idea of just constantly going back is so stressful, bro.
Man,
I do not want to do. I was talking to this guy at work. He doesn't work in my office, but he came by and I was talking about he had to travel through Lagos one time because his flight got cancelled. He lives in Ghana. And that the Lagos airport was embarrassingly like disgusting, because he's like, oh, that Nigeria is the powerhouse, and he thinks of Nigeria as like a super big country and the largest economy in Africa. So he expected that Lagos, being the biggest city there, should have like a very modern airport. But he landed there and he felt so unsafe.
Hey, yo, let's just chill. Because every time I touch LaGuardia, I feel a little unsafe. Like, what do you mean, bro? I feel like I have to grab my wallet and my passport.
LaGuardia is the Murtala Mohammed Airport of New York, bro.
Not too much on Lagos, bro. Because LaGuardia a crazy place to stop in,
bro. Yeah. But yeah, man, I'm not going. I haven't been back in a while. Maybe next year. That's why I say every year. Maybe next year. So I guess we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
How about you, bro? How have you been?
I've been good. Oh my god, bro. Time for me to hate, bro.
What a way to start,
bro. So, I got invited to a friend's wedding recently.
Yeah.
Bear man have been getting married recently, and it's kind of weird because it makes you really clock how old you are.
Yeah.
And in my head, I'm like, bro, I'm not even that old. Why are people getting married? What is going on?
Am I doing something wrong?
Yeah. But this guy I went to undergrad with, well, there's been like 3 people, I'm not gonna lie, the same year have been proposing. I'm like, what's the rush, bro? But honestly, a lot of these people have been in long-term relationships. Like, if you're dating the same person like 3 years or 4 years, at one point you're gonna have to like whip out the ring, my guy.
Yeah, I guess.
I don't think I could be a boyfriend for 4 years right now. Like, it's a little insane. It's a little insane.
Yeah.
But basically, this guy that I was friends with, we weren't like close, and he's a little white guy, cool little vibes. He's a chill dude. Sent me an invite to his wedding. In my head, when I got the invite, I was like, bro, I didn't even think that we were close like that. I thought we were like, see you on IG. Congratulations, my guy. So proud of you.
Yeah. And getting invited to
I'm
a
like,
wedding, that
yeah,
nigga doesn't
bro.
have friends.
I'm just like, I didn't know that we were close like that. But wedding vibes are wedding vibes. It's a nice way to dress up
Says,
and meet people.
yeah.
It's good energy stuff. And of course, open bar. Or so I thought. Let me tell you what. Let me tell you what came with the RSVP. What came with the RSVP is you have to pay to RSVP. So
Okay.
kind of like a cover. I said, okay, this is
Cover for
different.
a wedding is insane,
Just
but
chill,
go
bro.
on.
Just chill, bro. This
Okay.
is different cover. Okay. So I read through the rest of the doc. You pay for your guests too. So me and my guest, not just me, my cover doesn't extend to my guest. So me and my plus one are
No
paying
free
cover.
lunch.
That's
Yeah.
what that's two. That's number two. The third thing is the bar is a cash bar.
Oh hell. Okay, nigga. Okay. Okay.
Cash bar. So you have me
Okay.
paying cover for me and my guests, have me
Okay.
paying for hotel, have me paying for flight. Then I get
Wish
there
them
and I
all the
can't get
best.
drunk. It's like straight cash bar.
I wish
Bro,
them a
at that
happy married
point,
life.
I might just send like why just tell me to cash app you. Just send me the the cash app link for your wedding. Like why am I paying for your wedding, bro?
Bro, I hope this man isn't listening to this podcast right
I don't
now.
think he is. I don't think he is. Like I said, we're not that close. That's why I was kind of
Yeah.
surprised. And
Yeah.
yeah, but
Bro's trying to throw rocks for his wedding. That's
he's
crazy.
trying to throw rocks, but bro, like is I just never thought I'd be getting billed for someone else's wedding.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
feel you.
yeah. So
That's crazy though.
I just think like what I'm hating on right now is the audacity of people these days.
Weddings are expensive though, but like if you're going to go through with that, like you should be ready to bear that cost, man. Like you can't be charging people to show up to your wedding.
Mhm.
You know, that's insane. Damn.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking about, man. Like, I know I'm not meant to be hating on other people's happiness, but
I beg.
low key, I think relationships are one thing that I never really hate on. I hate on a lot of things, but I don't hate on people in relationships.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. I don't
yeah,
think we're the same there. I think I don't know why, but I hate on a lot of people's relationships. But it's mostly because I feel like people go out of their way to pretend and to like portray the best. You know how they say don't wash your dirty linen in public?
yeah.
People paint their linen white in public, like try to make it seem like when you can just be real. If you're real about your stuff, like if you're a couple that fights, but you're
Mhm,
real about your fighting, you're not trying to pretend and make stuff weird in public. I'm not
mhm,
gonna hate on it, but if you're those couples that try to put on the most picture perfect, and it's like, bro, we know the real you, then I'm a big hater of relationships like that.
mm. Okay,
But
we
yeah.
have to pivot soon because I don't want to sound like them timeline podcasts, them Twitter or X podcasts
Kevin
these
Samuels, yeah. Moving on.
days.
Moving on.
Moving on from the mess. Okay, so
What have we been watching?
what we've been watching. I've been a bit like in and out of things. I can't lie. I don't think I've watched too much since over the last couple of weeks.
Oh my
But
gosh.
some things that have made like proper impact on me. I watched All of Us Are Dead.
Okay.
K-drama thing. South Koreans can do that fucking zombie thing
Yeah.
to the T. I don't know if it's a genetic ability to like do like the creativity is insane. But
Yeah.
yeah, watch that during that Halloween period.
Okay.
Then I watched another TV show. Don't remember what TV show. I started watching The Boys. No, not The
Okay.
Boys. Invincible. No, Gen V. I started watching Gen V and Invincible.
Okay.
Yeah, that kind of didn't really like.
How far are you in Gen V?
I think I'm almost at the last episode in Gen V,
Okay.
but again, like I don't know. I feel like I'm like phasing out of that, or maybe I'm not in the right frame of mind where like I'm like in love with this the same way like I was in love with The Boys when it first came out. You know what I mean?
Okay. Okay. I I have something to say about that. I feel like because I think like quality wise didn't drop. If anything, like it
Mm,
seems like it's the same writers just writing different characters.
yeah.
But I think what had the boys, well, two things that had the boys going for it. The big one is what everyone says, it's a mockery, makes a
Yeah,
It's a
like
more
the
it's
portrayal of
like a
superheroes. We haven't
of
seen it like this.
superheroes. Yeah, we haven't seen
Yeah,
it like that and all of that. So that was a good take to see, especially as someone that likes superhero stuff. But the main reason why I kept going back to it was the shock factor. Every episode, it felt
yeah,
like the most absurd thing that could happen was like that something you could think of, like something more absurd was going to happen.
no, yeah, that's
Gen
true.
V is I don't think it's that absurd. Maybe it's because like these are kids, or maybe it's because they're trying to be morally upright as opposed to the boys where
I'm
the
not gonna
seven
lie.
is.
I saw. Did you have
I
you?
don't think it's that absurd.
What
I've seen
episode
the
have
whole
you?
thing.
You've seen
I've
the
seen
whole
the whole
thing.
thing. Yeah.
I feel like the shock factor was that point. The biggest shock to me was the guy that she made his dick explode. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna lie. I feel like the boys has shown me penises exploding more times than like I would like to have actually desired seeing penises exploding. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's happened like twice, and that's 2 times
Yeah.
too many.
That's definitely a lot of dicks exploding. I'm
Yeah,
not gonna lie. Yeah.
honestly, it might be 3, but
I can
generally,
remember two.
I
Yeah.
remember 2, but like I feel like it could be 3. But yeah. What
I
else have
don't
I
know. I just feel like it's like the way the intro to the boys is a speedster running through a person. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Um, like there were so many scenes that just don't that were
Loki,
so shocking.
I always had a problem with that whole scene
Why?
because he's a black man named
Okay.
A Train running through a white woman. I'm not gonna lie,
Okay.
bro.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
not
Okay.
gonna lie.
Okay.
It's a bit too on the nose.
I don't even want to call that a reach. I don't know how you were able to pull that one,
His
but
name
that
is
makes
A
it's
Train,
it's crazy that
and
that
he's
makes
a
sense.
black man. The only thing is that he's not a big black
She
guy.
she wasn't white though. I think you're misremembering. She was borderline. What's the politically correct way to say someone
You
that's
want to say
thoroughly
racially
mixed?
ambiguous?
Yes, that's what
Ah,
she was. Yeah.
okay. I don't know, bro. But all I
You know
know.
one of them spicy whites. That's what she
Oh my
was.
god, bro. Let's not do this. Let's not do this. This is not. It's not FaceTime.
This is a
This
horrible episode.
this is being recorded. This is out. This is out there. But what else have I watched? Really got excited about Dumb Money. Watched that.
Yeah. Okay.
Finally made time to watch that. Then started watching. No, I finished them. What's that thing called? Um, what's that? The new thing with Peter Dinklage that came out recently.
All
I
of
think
no.
it's She Came to Me.
Yeah, with Anne Hathaway. No.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's with Anne Hathaway. Yeah. Yeah. She came to
yeah,
me. That's what it's called. Yeah.
yeah. The rom-com thing with like the
Yeah.
composer with like Rice's blog. That was. I won't say it was hilarious, but like I don't think it was intentionally meant to be funny, but it was like so weird and like a bit. It was just like, my guy, what's going on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was out. Like I knew it was in theaters, but I didn't think that was out yet.
Mm,
I haven't seen that. It's on
you
my.
should.
It's like one of the
It's
first things
decent.
I added to my watch list this year, bro.
Yeah,
I
same,
mean,
same.
I-
It's pretty decent. Also,
okay.
yeah, shout out to the strike because
Shout out
finally,
to the strike is crazy. Oh, to the strike ending. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
I was
yeah.
very
Because
excited
now,
actually. The night because I saw before they announced it, I saw that they were going to meet that day. So I'm like, okay, like, and this was their final meeting. Like, if they didn't come to a conclusion, it
Mhm.
would have had to be extended for like an insane amount of time. So I was like really hopeful for that. And when they announced it, bro, I was very ecstatic.
Yeah,
I think
that,
it's crazy though that everyone is being rushed to do press. Like right,
bro.
the Hunger Games press is happening right now.
I know, and
I
it's
was,
been so funny, bro.
yeah.
The
So like, I'm
rush
like,
has been
everyone is just
so
like
funny.
trying to, bro. I know Netflix sent out like 70 emails immediately, like 12:01 a.m. that day. Like they try to get they got the cast of Stranger Things is coming back, bro. Like Timothy Chalamet is being pulled from all ends to promote
Salame's been
different stuff.
everything, bro.
Like
Because he's
it's
got Wonka too, so like,
yeah, he's
yeah,
got Wonka press. He has Dune press. He had like the SNL run, so I don't even know. Zendaya as well. She's been pulled from all angles, so it's like I can't imagine what it must be like now. But yeah, shout out that we need that. Streets needed that for
Streets
real.
definitely needed that.
Because this past few months in cinemas, like before this month, the last like 2-3 months in cinemas was torture. Like It was bad. So yeah.
No, I think some things were good. Like we had some like nice little spots.
Let me
But
see. The
what about you?
last
What you been watching? What you been watching this period?
um because I didn't really like what was in cinema, especially through October.
Mhm.
I decided to do a Bond rewatch, but not like the older stuff. I didn't go to Sean Connery. I did Daniel Craig Bond, and I watched through all of them.
You didn't even
And that
do
was not,
Pierce?
nah, bro. Pierce Brosnan, nah,
I'm not even
nah.
gonna lie. Pierce Brosnan is my favorite Bond.
Nah. I never saw, like, I've seen clips of Sean. Obviously, he's the Bond.
Yeah.
Um, but for me, my favorite Bond has to be Craig. Like, he embodies it so well.
Can
He
I tell you
looks
something
like a
kind of
Bond. He
crazy?
feels like a Bond.
Can I tell
What?
you something kind of crazy?
Okay.
I saw a picture or was a video of Daniel Craig walking, and I saw how short he was. And in my head, I was just like, yeah, this is not my Bond. I'm sorry. This is not my Bond.
But he doesn't appear tiny in the
They
movies.
do
That's
the
all
Tom
that
Cruise effect
matters.
on him. They do the
Oh,
Tom Cruise thing with him. But
whichever it is. I also have a hot take. While watching Craig, right? And I noticed the same thing with Ethan Hunt. That's Tom Cruise, Mission
yeah,
Impossible. These are lead, protagonists, detective, whatever you call them, spies. They
yeah,
have to be just a little bit bisexual. And I hope my listeners, I hope my listeners are,
yeah.
friendly and not homophobic or anything. But you just
This
have
is
to have the
funny.
right amount. Like, they're traditionally sexy, like, romantic,
Hmm.
flirty spies. That's how they get around, by womanizing women, and using advantage of their good looks or whatever. But they
Okay.
have to just have some zest,
Yeah,
some,
I was gonna say a little spice.
yeah, a little spice. And Craig
Hello.
just has the right amount, bro. And I
That's
just noticed that
interesting.
while I was doing the rewatch. But yeah, no. So that was one of the things I watched, and I just caught up on movies that I haven't seen during the year. So I saw Polite Society. It's a nice
Yeah, that's
Indian
good.
flick, so that was nice. I saw Flora and Son. It's Irish. It's on Apple TV. That was
Mm,
also interesting.
man,
Um,
speaking of Apple TV, I
here
didn't
we
want to say
go.
it.
Here we go.
Didn't want to say it. No,
Here we
no,
go.
actually,
Tim
I
Cook's
was
favorite
watching
hire.
Brie Larson and Lessons in Chemistry, not the Marvels. I know you people thought I was gonna say the Marvels, but no, I am down the Marvels. If there is only one hater for the Marvels in this world, that is me. That is
we have to,
me.
we have to unpack that some other time, because that is an insane thing to say.
But except Monica Rambeau, we love you. We love you.
Oh my
But
woman. Oh
back
my
to what I
woman.
was saying though. Um, she has a show called Lessons in Chemistry on Apple TV.
Yeah.
When I tell you, the pacing is one of the most confusing things I've ever seen in my life.
What do you mean?
The pacing of the show, I'm just so confused at what's happening and what is the time span between the things that are happening.
Oh,
It just felt
okay.
so uncomfortable. This is my first like Apple TV kind of miss. But again, I only watched 3 episodes.
You please tell me you're lying. I've been saving that one because I was doing the morning show. Just
Hmm.
finished the morning show, and I'm trying to fill time with other stuff because I want it to be done so I can just,
Hmm.
like, binge through it. I know it's not one of those shows because it's not a thriller. I know it's not going to. I'm not going to anticipate it like week to week. I just
Hmm.
want to sit through it. But everyone I've, like, heard talk about that said it's been really good.
Like Lessons in
So
Chemistry.
yeah,
Interesting. For me, it's just like the pacing's been a bit weird. And
okay,
I'm I don't know. I feel like the acting is good, but like because of the pacing, it feels like a bit out of like order. Like I don't really understand what.
okay,
Yeah,
okay,
but
huh,
I enjoyed some aspects of it, but at the
okay.
same time, I think could just be a me thing. But
Okay, I'll
yeah,
watch it and report back. But speaking of Brie Larson, though, I did see the Marvels. I'm a big MCU fan. I think I've said that too many times on this
too many,
podcast.
way too many.
Said it. I said I saw it opening night too. I see all the Marvel movies opening night. Um, while I was sitting there, this is the opening night that I've been in the theater for a Marvel movie with, like, not many people at all. I swear I counted we were like 20 in there, which is crazy for New York City. Like, you would typically be over 100. Um,
Ooh,
but yeah, and I was
we have things to say about that.
But I didn't do any prep. I didn't rewatch. Like I typically would watch the older movie or like the
Mhm.
TV shows leading up to it. I didn't do any of that this time because I'm like, bro, I'm tired. It feels like homework at this point. And so
Absolutely.
sitting there, I'm like, this is the first time I'm realizing that these movies aren't standalone. Like they're not meant to be. Like I know it's a cinematic universe and there are phases, and you have to like all the phases go together.
Mhm.
But like sitting there and watching it and not knowing anyone's backstory except like Captain Marvel and Monica, I'm realizing that like I really don't know what's happening right now, and not knowing makes the movie not as nice or not as enjoyable or not as good because you're
You
so
see, but like I
distracted.
think that's it though. Like that's what you're saying. It's it's like homework. To have to
It's
watch
homework. Yeah,
10,
yeah.
12 episodes of Miss Marvel, then have to watch 10, 12 episodes of WandaVision to understand Monica's backstory. My guy. Plus you had to watch like all the movies that had
Like the Kree and yeah, and all the
yeah,
ones that had
bro.
Captain Marvel in them as well.
It's a lot.
Um
It's a lot of work.
yeah. I saw
And I think
WandaVision. I saw all the Marvels. I just didn't see Miss Marvel. So that was what was
that's
throwing
a
me
big
off the
chunk
most.
because
And that's a big
she's a
chunk
main
because
she's
she's
a main character,
exactly.
bro.
So it's like yeah.
Yeah. So I think like a lot of people have been attributing like the low viewership
Hmm.
to the fact that it's female leads.
Yeah.
But like realistically, I think like that is a massive one, but it's not the only thing. I think it's also because you have to do homework for Marvel shows.
Yeah.
Like Marvel
Um
movies and shows, you have to do homework.
I'm not going to discount the female lead thing,
Oh, I'm
although
not discounting it.
I
Yeah.
personally really struggle with it because Captain Marvel is one of the highest grossing Marvel movies,
Hmm.
not named an Avenger movie. Like outside of the four Avengers, I think only Spider-Man No Way from Home or No Way Home, sorry, surpassed that at the box office. And there's been two movies like Wakanda Forever, the second Black Panther, and
Hmm.
Captain Marvel combined grossed 2 billion, bro. So I think it's more so they had the opportunity to do so much more. They had the opportunity to appeal to a larger audience, and they just kind of dropped the ball on it. Is how I feel. They could have just done so much more, you know.
Yeah.
But it's not bad. I enjoyed my bro. I had a good time in there. I was like there, kikiing up, like eating everything up. I'm just like, yeah, it's not what it used to be. Captain Marvel was better too, but I still think everyone should see it, you know.
No, I
But
get that.
it was a real coming of age moment in there. I'm like, damn, I'm getting old or something because this is
Yeah, that's what
not.
I was thinking also. It could be like a fatigue effect because we've just
Yeah,
had like
yeah,
so many like superhero stuff over the last couple of like, and
yeah.
it's fair. Like, it's only so much that can be done. Do you get
I
me?
know. Yeah,
And
we have
like,
to invent new
not
superheroes or
gonna
something.
shade it. I hated that Eternals got the reception that it did
Why did you hate
because
that? Did you like
I
Eternals?
loved Eternals.
Oh yeah, okay, same,
Yeah, I
same.
loved Eternals,
Yeah,
so I hated that I got the reception that it is because it introduced us to a different style of like
they could have just taken that and like made a whole new. I don't want to say
a
universe,
slightly,
but
I don't want
like
to say more adult, but like a slightly more like a different kind of autistic vision.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
For the people that
So
don't go into like the Marvel movies, like wanting the predictable, like, oh, we're gonna win, we're gonna make jokes, we're gonna crack, we're gonna act like we're about to lose. Like, I think it's
exactly.
very similar with like Guardians strikes a great balance
Uh
of that
huh.
like key, but like, damn, this is like
Mm-hmm.
hard hitting and sad and like
Yes,
grown like stressful themes. This is actually very interesting because this like keys into like what we're talking about today. Like the major movie is
the
The
killer.
Killers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's what we're gonna focus on today. So
Yeah.
as we pivot into The Killers,
You keep
this
saying the plural. I don't know why you say the plural. It's just one killer in
oh
it.
yeah, it is The Killer. My bad. I don't know. I think
Okay, there's
there's like a
multiple killers. To be fair,
there's multiple killers in the movie,
there's
but there's
multiple killers
also
in there.
not gonna lie. I feel like there's a Killers with like Ryan Reynolds or Ashton Kutcher. There's an older movie that's like a comedy that is basically the same name.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
Yeah,
If there
and like
is.
the music is done by the Smiths, and I think I keep trying to like remind myself that the majority of the music is like the
Oh,
band the Smiths. It's like I think it's Trey Reznor,
Yeah.
who like he
That's
did like everything with.
yeah.
This is his guy. This is his guy.
Yeah.
It's Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross.
Atticus Ross.
They've been doing things forever. But I'm not gonna lie. Like, I have to say this before I forget it. But I've listened to the Smiths during like my phases of like white people music and the vibes. When I tell you, this is like some great music, bro. Some great skill. It bangs, but like, you read the lyrics sometimes and you're listening to it. You're like, yo, what is going on?
I think I might have to bleep this one out. Too bad. I know what people thinking we're advocating for that.
I know
Um,
we're not, but like realistically, it is something to talk
yeah.
about. But
Yeah.
jumping into like, I guess like feelings after watching The Killer.
I
What
can
would you
go.
say? Like, give me a rating of it. What do you say? Good, great,
I gave it an
horrible.
8 out of 10.
Mm,
And I can, talk a little bit more on that. I think I understood, and I say I think because it's not a complicated movie. It's not a complicated film. Fincher's movies tend not to be complicated. At least I hope. I understand them after one view, and that's what I mean by not complicated.
okay.
Um, what?
No, I hear you. I hear you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm giving you
So
space
I
too.
think I got the whole gist, I also think it's an analogy because he's using himself as what made Fincher popular was his Zodiac and Seven, and
Mm,
he had a defined method, which is the whole analogy, the whole what the killer, what Fassbender's character is saying, stick to what you know, forbid empathy, all of that. Fincher had that in his filmmaking like techniques and whatnot, and then he ventured away from that for a little bit to make Mank and what was the movie before Mank? Like he made things that weren't widely accepted, and that's the analogy of the killer missing his shot and like having to go back to the drawing board
interesting
and
that
like
this is how like you see it. That's
I
very interesting.
I think that's what I think it's a it's introspection, because he
That's
like
interesting. That's actually like very interesting. Okay,
okay. But that no,
I
that's
think
that's what I took from it. And but like sorry, just
okay.
to wrap that
No,
up,
no, keep going, keep
I
going,
think
keep cooking.
um he may have like stayed too straight on the line. Like this is obviously going to be critically acclaimed. It's very well done. The music is to die for. Fassbender embodies the like as a nameless killer. We don't know his name.
Mm,
We literally cannot have any empathy for anything that happens to him. He could have died at the end, and no one would have because you're not like we're not allowed to. That's the whole point. We're not allowed to learn his backstory. We're not allowed to see what motivates him or that what motivates him is his job, you know what I mean? And so he stays too close to just sticking to the plan and seeing the end goal that there's no emotion that Fincher's films tend to have so much of. That's why I love Fincher. That's why he's my favorite director because he balances emotion with the filmmaking techniques and the thrill and whatnot. But I felt like this film was devoid of emotion, which I guess is what Fassbender kept saying on and on and on. Forbid empathy, empathy's weakness, weakness is vulnerability. But by not allowing Fassbender to be vulnerable, except with the two scenes where he's with the woman, which don't really show vulnerability, then it leads the audience, us, having no emotional connection to Fassbender and ultimately to the movie. So it's my least favorite Fincher, is what I'm getting at, because I felt zero connection as I was leaving the theater. But I recognize that it's like wonderfully made. So yeah,
okay,
that's how I feel.
I hear that. Disagree a bit. Not gonna lie, I do disagree a bit. I
Okay.
will agree that I think if I was to give it a number scale, I
Mm-hmm.
maybe would say 8 also. But this is a better way in my head.
Okay.
It's a good movie. It's not a great movie. So if you
Shit.
missed out on it, you don't watch it. Okay. You're not gonna
Okay.
be like missing something crazy. It is a good movie though. So if you have some time and you happen to watch it, you could enjoy it.
Yeah,
Yeah. And I
I
think
can
like
see
having
that.
it on Netflix helps with the accessibility of it. Watch it in the comfort of your home. I did not watch it on Netflix, but that was like I think that was like a a choice for me because I heard the movie was majorly voiceover work. So I want to feel the other aspects, which you can only kind of feel in IMAX. You get me? I want to hear the
Okay.
breathing better. I want to hear like the vocals of like things. Like I want, since it's majorly voiceover work, and I'm like, the acting is majorly done through like, okay, his body, his breathing, like that is what you're focusing on, like his emotions and like how he's acting and facial expressions. I wanted to see that in cinema, not at home.
Yeah, I get
If that
that.
makes sense. Okay, so back on Fincher. I like Fincher. I've always liked his stuff. Interesting that like for you, you're bringing up like Seven, Mank. For me, first movie that comes to mind with Fincher is Fight Club. Fight Club is the first movie
Wait,
that
wait.
comes
I'm
to
gonna.
mind.
Do you want to know something crazy? You might know what I'm about to say though.
I know what you're about to say. I know. I know you haven't watched Fight Club. It's okay. It's okay.
Seen
Well,
everything else though,
yeah,
but not that.
yeah. I've watched Fight Club. I've watched Gone Girl, and I watched The Social Network. Like, like probably way too young.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Then like what? Then rewatched them as time went on, and I like started like getting like more into like movies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And when I tell you, bro, like for me, like you talk about like Fincher, and you're like, oh, like his movies are always like pretty straight to the point. For me, it's always like, yeah, I watch it in like one way, like one
Mm-hmm.
setting,
Mm-hmm.
and after like my opinion either changes or I'm like, oh, that was interesting, or like middle of it, I'm a bit
Uh-huh.
confused at like what's going on, but I'm still like sitting and looking at the journey, like what are we going, where are we going? Same thing with like
Yes.
Gone Girl, same thing
Yeah.
with like Fight Club, and Social Network was like very like straight up. But interesting thing about Social Network, I love that they changed the name of the Social Network because
From the
initially,
anti-social billionaires or something.
yeah, the Accidental
Yeah.
Billionaires, yeah, that's the
Accidental billionaires.
original
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
name
what it
for the
was.
book. And I was just
Yeah.
like, yeah, Social Network sounds better than the Accidental Billionaires. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, but like I think in general, like you basically summed up like Fincher's style. It's
Mm-hmm.
dark themes, visual
Mm-hmm. It's
precision.
noise. Yeah.
Yeah, he loves them noirs, bro.
Yeah,
And it's
bro.
like I feel like it just The Killer is an intense story and an interesting character study. But on like a more banterful side, I've never seen a killer or like an assassin that I've like resonated with until The Killer. And let me tell you, bro,
What
he
do you
makes one of the most stressful and intense jobs that is like also like morally very, not
Mm-hmm.
really up there.
Yeah.
He shows you the mundane sides of it, like you're at work, bro. Like you're at your desk, and like you're killing time before your first meeting or your
Yeah.
manager comes. Like, okay, you find a little corner or like some empty office that you're gonna go take a nap in.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Go walk
Uh-huh.
for a little
Yeah.
snack, little lunch. You come back and you're still waiting. Like it just felt like we haven't seen in a lot of assassin movies and stuff like that, we haven't seen any mundaneness. We haven't seen any waiting. We haven't seen any like just like
Just like downtime. There's not even like,
downtime, bro.
yeah, like
Like
we're watching him eat a McDonald's. We're watching him sleep. We're watching him like breathe in and out, do yoga.
exactly. We're watching him
Yeah.
like also like again, like you say, we watch him to the point that we even watch him fuck up. We watch him like do his little affirmations ahead of time. Like when
Mm-hmm.
you're saying like for you the words that stuck in your head or like empathy, like forget empathy. For me, it is. I think the words were anticipate, do not improvise,
Yes. Yeah,
and
that was what I said.
and like that as like that has been something. I feel like I've heard different variations of that throughout
Mm-hmm.
like school and like throughout life. Like oh, be prepared or. Like failing to prepare is the same thing as
Yeah, it's
preparing to
preparing to
fail.
fail.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so like in my head, I was like, my guy, like I love this aspect. Like this was my favorite aspect of the movie. It's not the shooting, it's not the women, it's not like, it's just really like we're seeing a guy kill time out of his job. He's listening to music. And
Mm-hmm.
I think the only thing that's like stopping, like he didn't take off his shoes and like chill. That was it. I'm like, bro, like I love the movie. I love that aspect of it.
I
But
think
did you
because
know?
you. Sorry,
Go
go
on.
on.
No, no, you go.
Because you said character study, which it's an excellent character study. But I saw Mank as well. I didn't see that in theaters. I saw it on Netflix, and
Mhm.
Mank was also a character study. But Mank, which some people have said is a tribute to his dad, that's the for me. I would consider Mank the miss. You know, like the killer miss. That's what I mean in the analogy. I didn't even think Mank was a miss. I thought it was different. It's not a thriller. But even in that, which is a pure character study, most similar to, of all his other films, it would be The Killer that's most similar to. We still had the opportunity to get emotionally attached to Mank. And maybe that's because of different actors, Gary Oldman versus Michael Fassbender.
Mhm.
Or maybe that's because, if it's meant to be a tribute, then obviously then it's more emotional. It's more we're actually journeying with this man whose health is deteriorating and whatnot. I just felt like he wasn't allowing us have that because we like because we're sticking to the plan. Like
Yeah,
the
we're
simple
sticking.
fact that we don't even get a name.
Yeah.
um but in terms of the other stuff, the trust no one, the anticipate, don't improvise, never yield an advantage, him
Mhm.
having no mercy until the very end, well done, excellent. um it is a good film. I just like I wouldn't consider it a favorite. But
No, I get.
I hear everything that you're saying, and I can't think of when you said I haven't seen a killer who that you resonated with in terms of like just the mundane stuff, the everyday stuff. I was trying to think of one, and you really do not get that
We don't get that.
much.
We
Um,
see them like immediately, bang bang, like throwing
hmm
people, throwing knives. That's it.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
and I feel like I don't remember too many movies that like. I don't remember any movies this year that are like big budget movies or like big cinema waiting movies that were like this, except like John Wick, and that's like the complete opposite spectrum of this.
Yeah,
Like whole movie, whole John Wick franchise is like based on emotion.
yeah,
Yep.
like, entirely, yeah. Um, no, this is nothing like that. It's not. It's not like the John Wicks or whatever. What other action? Yeah, it's nothing like. It's not even an action movie. There's not many fight scenes. The one fight scene though in Florida with at that guy's house was kind of had me on the edge of my seat because.
No, I want to say like I think it doesn't oversaturate you with fight scenes, but it builds so much tension.
Hmm.
And if I will say like sometimes like building tension can be like one of two things. You
Yeah.
can either get bored or you get
Hmm.
tired. And the other side is that you can like it just like helps you lead into like edge of your seat moments and like, oh my God, like what's going to happen next? It grabs you.
Yeah.
And I feel
Yeah.
like it depends on the person. Because some people may be overstimulated and you're like, okay, I'm bored and tired. So now I'm going to be on my phone. But if you stay true to the plan, you stick with the movie,
Hmm.
you're going to have like a great experience, like seeing like some of these narratives and thieves like come full circle. Like I enjoy the pacing of it.
Yeah, oh no, I did. Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's one of the better parts of it. Another good part, which I'm surprised it's taken us this long to mention, Tilda Swinton, her cameo is the best, obviously, needless to say, in the
Mhm.
movie. But every line she was delivering was just so like I felt it, like when they were in that diner restaurant, or when
Mhm.
they were just driving and when he was following or when he was taking the train to go see her, she's like leaving amongst the normies and like driving and the turns that she like just stuff like that. I'm like, this is probably the only time I feel like I can relate much to, or I feel some emotion to this movie. But at the end of it, like she still dies. Which, by the way, if you haven't seen it, I guess spoiler spoiler warning.
Mhm.
But I thought her cameo was brilliant. The casting was also the pacing and the casting um was really good. I didn't think there was any person in the cast that kind of threw me off. Yeah, superb acting. All acting masterclasses really.
Yeah. I
Um,
definitely agree with that.
yeah.
Yeah. I think my favorite aspects of it were definitely the pacing and I think the pacing and Fassbender, like all of his little movements, like the BP talk, like the voiceover work. He did
Yeah.
so well with that, and yeah, I feel like you can just like enjoy the movie, seeing the panic. Like honestly, this is genuinely similar to like you're at work, you fuck
Okay.
up, and you're panicking.
You're like panicking. And you're like, what
And
do I
you're
do? What do I
panicking.
do? Yeah.
Yeah. And you're
Yeah.
like, oh, how do I like resolve this? How do I not get fired or killed?
Yeah. It's going to end up. I mean, I don't know what next is he plans to work in. I think he's going to go back to what Mindhunters or
No, I don't know. I don't think Mindhunter's coming back, actually.
oh
Fun fact, Mindhunters was shot, or some of it was shot in my undergrad.
oh wow.
Yeah.
Where did you go for undergrad?
I went to school in Pittsburgh, small liberal arts in Pittsburgh. Can't tell people with the name. Don't worry about that. You don't need to know that. But small liberal arts college in Pittsburgh. Well, I would say like 30 minutes from Pittsburgh, but like you would,
Okay.
yeah.
I know his Netflix contract isn't up. I think he still has a couple more stuff to do with Netflix. I think it's giving them 4 projects now or something. So I know he's still working with them. That's just why I assumed Mindhunters. But I don't know what he's going to put out next, but I'm almost certain that this is going to be my least favorite Fincher, and which is not a
That's
bad thing to
wild.
say. I gave it an 8/10. It's really not. Before this, my least favorite was probably Gone Girl, so if
You know
like
what's funny?
again, which Gone Girl wasn't bad either. So but I'm fine with it being my least favorite because I recognize that it's good. The score is to die for. Again, the cinematography is excellent. The pacing, the casting, the dialogue, when there is dialogue. But it's just, it doesn't resonate much. I don't get the emotional connection that I did with, say, The Social Network, for example, or The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, which are both, dark and serious, but I'm still able to develop some connection with the characters.
Okay. I think that's funny because I think, like, quite honestly, Gone Girl serves as kind of like, okay, I'm sorry, I was doing something. I must say my mind was training a little bit. But Gone Girl serves as like a weird little litmus test for me when I
knew you
get
were going to
involved.
say that. I knew you were going to say that.
When I get involved with women, I use Gone Girl as a little litmus test. I think we talked about this before. Because it's like my sign to either run or like, I mean, like, let's see, what are the vibes?
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
What are the vibes? Because like, I think it's also interesting because you might genuinely think I'm joking,
Yeah.
but it's like, I know some people actually completely rationalize and understand everything that like she did. Like, do you get me? Like, they rationalize.
I don't want to
and,
speak too much on this topic.
and for me, I'm like, oh my god, like, let's not hate. I don't want to sound like I'm hating, but oof, some interesting people out there. It's a funny little show, funny little vibe out there. Yeah, fun fact, I know people that have watched Gone Girl multiple times. And I'm like, why are you doing this to yourself?
I guess they're trying to pick up some tips then. I've
I
seen Gone Girl
don't know,
twice.
bro. I don't know.
I've seen Gone Girl. I've seen most Fincher films multiple times, I think. Unless like they were really hard for me to get through once, then I'm just not going to put myself through that again. I've seen The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo maybe 3 times or 4 times, really.
But I feel like that's your niche, though.
Yeah. That's probably why.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess what next are we looking? I'm seeing Killers of the Flower Moon. I still haven't seen that, and I'm going to see that.
I'm not gonna lie to you. That
Hopefully,
4 hours is making me feel a little bit. It's making me feel a little bit like, yo, what's
I
going
just feel
on?
like I owe it to Scorsese, especially if this is going to be his final. Not that I owe it to him, but it's good. It's getting so much acclaim. Come award season is going to be one of the most touted names.
Mm-hmm.
Lily Gladstone. I can't go a day without seeing her name on my page. So
Absolutely, bro.
I feel like I'm doing myself a disservice, and I'm doing Scorsese, and I'm just doing like film as a whole a disservice by not seeing it. But then like I get ready to go for it, and then that like I just takes an hour to get to the city, an hour and a half to get to the city. I have to sit through 4 hours, no intermission, and then an hour and a half to get back. Like even hearing myself say this out loud, I sound so juvenile. But like
No,
it's
exactly,
very
bro. Like
tasking, bro.
every
It's
time you say it out loud, that I'm going to have to drive maybe like 30 minutes
yeah.
and then sit down for 4 hours, watch this, drive another 30 minutes back home. In my head, it's like, what is going on? What is
But I
going
have
on?
to see that. So I think I'm gonna see that this weekend. And if you see it soon, then next time we meet, we can talk about
Yeah,
that.
definitely, definitely.
Um, guilty pleasure, obviously Hunger Games. As soon as we get off
Mm.
this recording session, I'm going to start from the beginning. Going to rewatch the Hunger Games, and I don't care what anyone has to say. That got us through the whole YA time when Divergent and them man were doing their thing, Maze Runners and them were doing their thing. No one was doing it like the Hunger Games, bro.
No one was doing it like that.
Nobody. So
Yeah.
like I owe this
That
to
niche, no
younger
one
me.
was doing it like the Hunger Games.
Nobody. So and like the press is looking fun. It looks like the cast had a genuinely good time.
Yeah,
And
they
you know how I feel about Viola Davis, bro. As soon as she's in anything, I'm
did.
there. So I don't no questions asked. Put her name in there, I'll be there. So I'm going to see that as well.
Okay.
And we can talk a little bit about that next time as
Okay.
well.
For me, guilty pleasure, but it's not really a guilty pleasure. I just found out that the trailer is horrible and the movie is immense. The Holdovers.
Okay. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
looking at that today.
The trailer was, I've always seen the
I
trailer and
haven't
it's always looked like, what is this?
I haven't seen the trailer.
This is, like, this does not look like a fun time. But it's Paul Giamatti, so, like, we gotta go.
Yeah.
We gotta go. What else am I looking forward to? Looking forward to Ferrari.
So you've been talking about this Ferrari since the beginning of the year, bro.
Since the beginning of the year. You know me and a good biopic, bro. Me and a good
Fairs.
biopic. And I don't know. I don't know what else I'm looking forward to. I might
It's so
toss in
much.
Hunger Games, but I don't think I'm actively looking forward to that. I think if I have some free time, I will just like go watch that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Okay.
I think right now those are the only two. Kind of want to see Wonka because I know it's going to be bad. I'm just wondering how bad is it. So I might hit the cinema up on a Tuesday. Them AMC Tuesdays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't care. I'm going to enjoy myself there. And like I feel like we need because there's so much serious stuff coming out. There's so many we haven't even mentioned. There's still Poor Things, still Bike
Yeah.
Riders, there's
Did
still
you watch Anatomy of the Fall?
no, I haven't seen that yet. Like there's so much
There's so
Linklater's
much.
films. Like so I
Oh
need
yeah, Saltburn. I keep forgetting Saltburn.
Saltborn is like I still
Yeah.
haven't seen Priscilla. Like there's so much, bro. I
No,
was
I
making
haven't had time to see
I
Priscilla.
was
I'm not gonna lie.
why
I,
is that?
I don't know, bro. Like, there's too many Elvises. Elvi. I'm tired.
Make sure it's still coming,
Yeah, man.
Hitman, like Bike Rider. There's so much that you need the Wonkas and you need Dick's the Musical. That's another one that I need. It's like it's a breather, it's a refresher. I've heard
Yeah.
good things about The Boy and the Heron. Like this, you just need this fun things
No,
in
you
between
didn't
all
hear
this
good
like
things about The
serious.
Boy and the Heron. You heard about how good, like, you saw the voice actors list.
I did not see the
You
voice
saw
actors
you
list.
saw Robert Pattinson.
The Boy and
You're
the
like,
Heron has been on my list
yeah,
since I've been
right,
talking.
buddy.
Oh my
Yeah.
god!
All right.
Because I don't enjoy anime doesn't mean I can't enjoy animated cinema.
Sure.
But
All
we'll
right. To
have a
close
lot to
up
talk
shop.
about next time.
No, it's a close up shop. I have a little twist. I have a little game.
All right,
Okay.
let's go.
So I'm gonna describe a movie. You tell me what movie it is.
I love this.
Okay. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Orphan with head trauma. Third wheels for 6 years.
Third wheel for 6 years.
Yeah.
Does this have to do with Harry Potter?
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Okay.
Okay.
Okay,
Is it one that are there two films or is just one?
No, I
answer?
got another one for
Okay.
you.
Okay.
Okay, you ready? Okay. All right. Squid Games, but make it Western.
Squid Games or make your Western. I am not gonna get this one.
Would you like me to add an occupation or a weapon?
Add a weapon.
Bows.
Squid Games to make your Western with bows. Bro, there is nothing like that. Is it niche or is it like, mainstream?
You know it. You absolutely know it.
I know it. Squid Games, like the Netflix show Squid Games.
Yes, but make it Western.
But make your Western. The very concept of Squid Games has nothing to do with anything Western. Oh, Western like the Western world or Western?
Yeah, Western world. Not Western yeehaw.
Okay. I don't know. Oh,
Okay.
this is going to be something
Hunger Games.
stupid. Of course. Of fucking course. You just talked about that.
Yeah, like Hunger Games is basically Squid Games.
We just talked about that. That's so stupid. Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
There's one more. There's a bonus round if you want it.
Let's get it. I have to come up with some of these for you, but let's go.
Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Wife plays an extreme version of hide and seek.
It's a Gun Girl.
Yeah, it's Gone Girl.
Nah, I like that one.
Yeah.
Nah, that's cool. I will come up with some of these next time. When you remember the Shrek one? I saw that one on Twitter. I'm like, that was a good one. I have to find some more of these ones. But I think we can end on that note then.
Yeah, I think we can end on that note. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to us. This has been the TCA.
And we'll be back in a couple weeks.
I'll be back in a couple weeks.